down on the plunger, we have to make sure that we don't put any part of our body over top of the fire extinguisher, right? We have to make sure we keep our head, our hands, and every part of us free from that. So if you like to, it just seems like it's pretty easy to just hold it by the carrying handle. All right. So once we have charged the fire extinguisher, we want to take the extinguisher, take the nozzle, point it away from us and anyone else, and discharge it down towards the ground to see that the proof the fire extinguisher is functional. We should just get a very brief squirt of the dry chemical that's going to be coming out. Once we know that that is working, we are now able to and are prepared to fight this fire. All right, now when we want to fight the fire, which direction do we come from? Upwind and uphill, right? We want to make sure that, one, the smoke, the heat, and all the toxic gases are not being blown towards us, right? We also want to make sure that the chemical that we're discharging can actually get carried into the fire using the wind. If we're trying to spray the extinguisher into the wind, we'll be less successful, right? But also, if we have a situation where we have a flammable liquid and there is a containment, going on, if that fails, all right, now we potentially have a bunch of running flammable liquid coming down towards us, all right? So we want to make sure that we're not, if possible, we're also going to be uphill if possible, all right? Now, there's an acronym that we use for fire extinguishers. What is that acronym? PASS, all right? So what does PASS stand for?
Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep.
Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep, all right? So now the pull is typically used for extinguishers that have a pull pin, all right? Much like a hand grenade, right? This extinguisher doesn't have a pull pin. So now for our particular scenario, we're talking about pushing instead of pulling, all right? So, but the acronym itself stands for, the P stands for pull, all right? Now we're also going to want to aim. We're going to take the nozzle, we're going to aim at the base of the fire. Once we aim and we have a good bead on where there's a fire, we're going to squeeze the handle. Once we squeeze the handle, we're going to sweep side to side, the full width of the fire, and extending beyond the width of the fire by 6 inches on each side. We have to make sure we're getting full coverage. Some of the groups that came through here today stopped short on their sweep, and the fire, as they were working back the other direction, the fire came back around and caught back up. Right? So make sure that you extend the full width of the fire plus 6 inches. Right? Now, when you start out, we want to make sure that we're starting out probably at least 10 feet away from the fire. Right? Because if we start too closely, when it comes to flammable liquids fires, what do we risk happening if we're getting too close? Splashing, right? So now it becomes a safety hazard, but then we also may have a bigger fire to deal with. So if we stand back 10 feet, we open up the nozzle, we start sweeping, we can now adjust our application if need be, right? If we need to, we can move in, we can move back if we have to, or we can move side to side, all right? But if you start out at about 10 feet, you'll be pretty good. The challenge that we're seeing today is we have a lot of people who are just kind of just drawn in by the fire, and they move up very quickly, all right? And by that time, it's almost too late, because now they're splashing the fuel out of the containment, and it becomes a much more challenging situation. So don't move up too quickly, right? If it turns out that for some reason you actually do get yourself kind of caught up and you're a little bit too close, how do we fix that problem? Take a step back, right? Taking one step backwards now allows us to change the angle and the velocity in which the chemical is now hitting the fuel, right? So now we'll be disturbing the fuel a little less, and we should be able to change our outcome. If it's still a little bit too much, take another step back, right? Now, the other thing you can do is you can also sweep faster. If we sweep faster, that will change the velocity. So if you get yourself jammed up and you get yourself out of trouble, if you sweep faster, that might be one option. But taking one step back is always the best option, right? So knowing that you guys look like a very successful bunch to me, all right? Once you put that fire out, once you are successful, how do we leave once you have that fire extinguished? Back away. Never turn your back to the fire, right? So for today, we're going to have you...
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम दोस्तों, ये हाउ टू इंस्पेक्ट फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर और आग बुझाने से पहले आपने किस तरह से इंस्पेक्शन करना है और सेकंड्स में आपने फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर लेके आपने आग को बुझाना है। ब्रैडन फायर फील्ड दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी फायर फील्ड है। यहाँ पे मेरी ट्रेनिंग चल रही है NFPA 1081 की। मैंने आपको 5 मिनट लाइव लिया, बहुत शुक्रिया मुझे ज्वाइन करने का। मेरी क्लास है, इंशाल्लाह फिर आपसे दोबारा मुलाकात होती है। अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा। इट्स अ वंडरफुल ट्रेनिंग। 80% प्रैक्टिकल्स हैं और इंशाल्लाह इस वर्ल्ड क्लास ट्रेनिंग को हम पाकिस्तान में लॉन्च करेंगे फर्स्ट टाइम।